All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Frightmare HQ. My name is Lloyd Cryer, and I am here today
It's
with.
Charles Doze. What's up, Lloyd?
What's up,
What are
Charles?
you
Good to
doing?
see you, sir.
You
Well,
too.
not a whole lot.
Who we got?
We do want to go ahead and introduce our guest, though, since he is on screen with us.
Ooh.
Everybody, welcome Mr. Paul Taylor. Thank you for joining us, Paul.
What's up, Paul?
Hey, thanks, Lloyd. Hey, Charles. How you guys doing?
We're doing pretty good. How
Pretty
about you,
good.
Charles?
I'm always good. Every day's a good day, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
You say so.
we're so glad to
Yeah.
have you on. I do want to let everybody know that we will be taking questions for Paul today. So if you have a question, go ahead and drop it in the comments section. We'll be monitoring those. We'll try to get to as many as possible.
Yeah.
But let's just go ahead and state the obvious. To horror fans, you are probably best known as Pinhead in Hellraiser Judgment. That's
No doubt.
fabulous.
Yeah, it is fabulous. It was a great gift from the universe that I didn't expect, It's pretty weird.
Is it
Pretty weird to
is it
I remember when it happened, I got a text from a friend of mine, an old actor friend of mine who said, "Congratulations on your instant cult status." It was like, "Whoa, my mind is blown." It's so crazy
It,
to
it's
inherit
got to
that.
be it's got to be a mind blowing experience, and you were rather well lauded for your turn as Pinhead too, and that's got to feel even better.
Thank you. That's the number one thing that I was concerned about. We finished the movie. Of course, I went through all the warnings that haters gonna hate and,
mm-hmm.
hardcore fans and all that stuff. And I went through all that, and then I got accustomed to it, and I got over it, and I did my job. But then 2 years went by from when we shot the movie to when it was actually released. And I had 2 years to just go, are they gonna like me? Are they gonna hate me? I haven't seen it.
Oh
Did
man.
my work suck? Was it was like, so when it finally came out and people, many of the fans were happy with what I did, that's all I really wanted because I love Hellraiser. I've always loved Hellraiser. I mean, who doesn't
Nice.
love Pinhead? I mean, maybe some people don't. People who don't like horror don't, but man,
So
Pinhead's the best. So I was like, wow.
the
Yeah.
the first time you stepped out and saw yourself in the Pinhead makeup, what was going through your mind?
Well, I had a little time to go from the makeup trailer. I watched it happening, the makeup being put on me, but I didn't have my contacts in, so I couldn't really see the mirror. But then I went to my trailer for a few minutes. I don't know how long they gave me, but I just got up in the mirror and was like doing what apparently Doug Bradley had done the first time as well. Just seeing how subtle I could be and how much I could move to just make the makeup work for me. But it wasn't until, and that was just a spooky. I was alone. It was my time. It was. I grew up a huge Halloween kid, and everything had to be creepy and hopefully unrecognizable and just grotesque. So to have that face put on me and be in this poorly lit trailer with a mirror, it was the most amazing, weird, scary. It wasn't scary because of what I look like. It was scary because I'm like, I'm about to do this. I'm about to
Yeah.
play Pinhead.
Like, this is real.
Then I went over. It felt so cool though. It was like this really happened to me. I feel like I'm 8 years old. It's like a dream come true to look like this movie monster. So then they got me completely ready, did the airbrushing, put in the contacts, put on the lower lip, and put on the costume. And then it was time to walk across the sidewalk to the warehouse doors where we were shooting all of my stuff, except for the alley at the very end. And um, they open the double doors, and I walk through, and I hear these crew members. I just hear audible gasps and people saying, "Oh my God!" And I was there. I was there. I was just because of that reaction. My presence as Pinhead was just like, okay, I look like this. I'm a god, and there is no cannot touch. You can't touch me. It was it was very powerful. It was nice to feel that powerful because, in real life, how many of us feel that powerful ever? It was like I was a god.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I didn't lose my mind. I'm not insane, but I'm a little method, and I want to go there. I want to live there while I'm on the set, and it was just so. it
A-
was it was the best thing that's ever happened to me, was being on
Nice.
that set.
Angel to some, demon to
To
others,
others.
right?
Exactly. It was so cool.
Jeanette Nolan wants to know how long the makeup took to do.
It took approximately 2 hours. I don't know if it's not exactly, but it's approximately 2 hours. There's an unspoken, or maybe it's just very privately spoken, contest between people who have applied. I think it's because Gary Tunnicliffe, who's been on the Hellraiser film since the third film and wrote and directed and played the auditor in this one. He did Doug Bradley's makeup so many times that he got him from makeup chair to set ready in, like, I don't know, 45 minutes. He got it down. I don't know exactly what the record was, but he got it so fast and knew, you know, he just was bam, 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 because he's such an artist and such a perfectionist. But um, so there's an unspoken sort of contest. Gary couldn't do it, my makeup, because he was busy directing the movie. And in his auditor makeup, which was pretty fucking cool. It was
Mhm.
so funny, um, to be directed by the auditor. Um, so, so it was Mike Miasmer, who is quite often on Gary's team. He applied my makeup. He didn't get it down to what Gary ever did, but uh, it was a little under 2 hours for him. I just don't know exactly how long it was. That was a very long answer. Sorry,
Well,
but
no, that's
No, it's
fine.
good.
kind
I,
of a fun story
I
about
can
this contest they have going.
can imagine sitting there for 2 hours. Maybe you had to go to the bathroom or something. That would be fun.
Well, Mike would hit the timer and say cigarette break, and that's when I'd go to the bathroom.
You're like, oh, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. I was just like in such a, I was like in a trance though. It's
You're
like,
like, it's happening.
man,
This is gonna happen.
Yeah.
this is happening.
I
Well,
Yeah.
I can't imagine the feeling, and like you said, you did some a little bit of method with that, and that had to have been an amazing feeling. Look at me, I'm
I'm
Pinhead.
Pinhead.
Yeah, it's all about. I mean, I already have the arrogance. I no, I mean, I play a lot of arrogant people. I've in my career, I've played a lot of arrogant people. And it because it's fun, and I look like a privileged. I have white privilege. I have it written all over me. I'm 98% British. It's like I'm that guy. I'm the guy that's the butt of the jokes these days in entertainment, always. But and that's okay because it gives me work. But what I had to work on was no fear, and that's been really empowering for me, because fear is the one thing that keeps us from doing what we want to do with our lives, and it keeps us from doing anything that really that we seriously want to do. So that was where the method started, because that was my homework, besides watching other actors performances and stuff. But in certain movies that Gary and I would agree this would be a good performance for you to look at for a while, and then come up with your own thing. So when it came to the time when I would just look, it was the script, I had the lines memorized, and I would just be in the dark, or I would just be working on whatever method I had to use to be so strong that I had no fear,
Yeah.
because Pinhead has no fear. So that was where the method started, and then so it was easy to click into that, um, which is really funny, because at one point on the set I had a nicotine overdose, because I was this story, because I had told Gary, yeah, I want to make it easy for you, because I know that Doug's Pinhead always had at least one line where he'd say it and smoke would come out of his mouth. So let's do that. But Doug was a hardcore smoker. I don't know if he still is, but he would just have the cigarette down here out of camera view, and he'd just take a puff and he'd say the line and the smoke would come out beautifully. Well, I told Gary, yes, I smoke because I'd been smoking to try to get my voice lower, which, as it turns out, didn't really matter because of what they did with my voice anyway. But I didn't know that. I guess I just wanted to do it for me. This is silly, but there's something with me about I want to smoke on film sets. It's terrible. It's a terrible thing to want to do. It's a terrible habit. Ah,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's fun. It's fun, and it does things to your voice that kind of work with film. I'm not telling anyone that this is stupid to even say on here, but seriously, I like smoking. I won't
Don't we
smoke more
all?
than 2 cigarettes a day, though. I mean, but don't tell anyone. Um, I don't know what the question was, but yeah. So,
It's whatever you
Well,
I
want it to
had a
be.
nicotine overdose. That's when the fear came in because we had to stop. We had to stop filming because I couldn't get the smoke to come out right. Gary wasn't happy with what was happening, and he's like, "No, take a deeper drag." And no, that didn't work. Try it again. Hold it in your mouth and puff it. No, that didn't work. So many times, and I wasn't smoking. I don't know if I was smoking a light cigarette. I know it was organic tobacco, like American Spirit. Um, I should have used a vape, but
Yeah.
think that would look right. So
Yeah.
we were using smoke. So yeah, I had to stop, and I don't know how long I was sitting outside just because I had to take a break and go outside. So and then we didn't get that scene till the next day or the day after that. We went back to it. They had to go on and something else, and I'm just sitting there going, "Oh my god, I'm never gonna work again." It was, I started freaking myself out. And
Well,
Gary
what
came out
kind?
and he's like, Paul, it's okay. We'll move on and we'll get back to you.
Yeah,
Okay, that
yeah.
happened.
It's all good.
It's all
So
good.
What kind of impact has this role had on your career? Has it gotten you more recognition? And
it really has. I'm so grateful for it. It's elevated my profile as an actor. I'm getting to do more horror films because of it, which I love. I mean, I'm a funny guy. I could do sitcom if I lived in LA and not Dallas, maybe. I could do sitcom. I've done a lot of, comedy on stage and also in movies. Um, but it's elevated my profile. It's just it's made me more visible, and um, it's funny. I just read an article the other day, um, and it was lovely. It was just basically about, and I reposted it on my social media. It was about the three actors who've played Pinhead, and it talked about Doug, then it talked about the other guy, then it talked about me, and but it was favorable what they said, and I loved it. And then there was this one little thing, and he remains a little known character actor, and I'm like,
Uh,
it kind of hurt. It kind of hurt, but I stayed in Dallas. I didn't go to LA. I didn't go to Atlanta. I haven't gone to a bigger place where there's more opportunity. And uh, when the movie was about to come out or had just come out, or my IMDb was, I was way up there in the list and stuff, or about to be, so we thought, I was on a set on a shoot for a little thing in Dallas, and somebody said to me, Paul, so you got all your ducks in a row, you're gonna get out there, you're gonna move to LA, so you're all ready, you're gonna go now, you're gonna get an agent, and I'm like, oh, is that something I should be doing?
you're like, I'm good.
Says, yeah. I'm fine now. You know what? I'm so grateful for Pinhead. I'm so grateful for what it has done for me and also for the convention industry. I mean, I never expected any of this. So I'm good. But it has definitely gotten me noticed by more filmmakers. And that's really what I want more than anything, is
oh
just to be on
yeah.
film sets and TV
Definitely.
sets.
So you had two
So,
years. You said wait for the movie to come out. Did you have to deal with a lot of crazy Hellraiser fans who hadn't even seen the movie in that time giving you shit?
yeah. Yeah. I mean, it started before they'd seen any of the work we'd done, and it was like, well, it's true. Haters gonna hate because it's like, you guys are what? It's childish. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
wait and see. We're trying to create something here, and maybe we're trying to please people. We're using what we can. We don't have a big budget. It's just like, wow. And uh, I've met so many super cool horror people. I mean, people at conventions, horror people at conventions are the nicest people in the world. Um, and you don't, someone from outside of that doesn't expect that. They just think, oh, they're all a bunch of scary freaks. It's like, no, they're
Yeah.
freaks just like me, but they're not scary. You know, they have hurt in their lives, and they have bravery in their lives, and they have experiences in their lives, and they've chosen horror because horror is comfortable. I don't know what it is about horror, but it makes it warms me up in my heart. I have so many horror DVDs and Blu-rays, and nothing, and very little of anything else. It's crazy. It's a crazy world. But yeah, that was it. I finally had to get over that. I finally had to get over the people who, because there are two things that are just burned into my head, and one is, well, he's no Doug Bradley. Well, duh. You might just as well say he's not Doug Bradley,
Yeah,
because
because you're
that's
not.
what it is. He's
But
not Doug Bradley. Well, that's a true statement.
yeah,
And then the other one is, there's only one true Pinhead. I'm like, well, that's not a true statement.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, what does that even mean? Maybe true is whatever they mean by true, but there's only one Pinhead. I'm like, no,
Well,
there are
look,
three Pinheads actually.
There's three of them.
well, look how you've come through this.
I know.
You're very
Yeah.
well respected for the role. A lot of people talk highly of it. We've even got a couple of people that remember you from the screening of Hellraiser last year. They always bring that up, and they go, "Yeah, I was there." And Paul Taylor, the new Pinhead, stood up and asked Doug Bradley a question.
It was so cool. But actually, what happened was, I didn't stand up. I just raised my hand, and I asked my question. I asked the question. It was about Clive Barker's theater, his plays that he'd written, because he and Doug were in. They were in the same. The was it Dog Wolf? I don't remember the name of the company, but it was a long time ago. They were in a theater company together in England, and Clive was writing plays. And I said, of all the plays that he's written, what is the one play that you think above all others would be a good play for me to produce, or for one to produce? And he before he answered the question, he said, "Does everyone know who's asking the question?" And then he introduced me, and he's like, "This is your new Pinhead." I'm like,
Wow.
it was so kind of him. That was so cool that he didn't have to say that. He could have just answered the question.
Yeah.
I was just asking the question because I seriously was curious, because I am a theater actor. I'm like, well, if I can get a local theater to do a Clive Barker play, which one should it be? That's basically what I was asking.
Yeah.
So, or produce myself,
Well,
So,
speaking of stage stuff, what there's a lot of people, and I'll let you finish your thought, but I want to go back to your stage work because there's a lot of people asking about that.
oh yeah, cool. What do you want to know about it? I mean,
Well, they want to know if you're going to come back and do some more stage work, or are you going to focus on film now? That's from Bob White.
well, Bob White. Hi, Bob White. Um, Here's the deal. There's a pandemic going on, and there's no theater happening.
Yeah.
So I did a play last year. I played Renfield in Dracula at Theater 3. One of my favorite things I've ever done in the world, because it really featured Renfield, and it was just, he's a madman, and he's got so much heart, and just, oh God, it was so much fun. And then I was scheduled at the same theater to do another play, to do The Immigrant. Well, then the pandemic hit. I am in the union, in Actors Equity Association. They stopped issuing contracts. They said there's no more theater because obviously we can't have gatherings. So there haven't been any in-person contracts since then. So that's been 9 months. I don't plan to ever stop doing theater. Theater is my blood. Theater is in my blood, and I love it. I love it so much. I'm dying to get back on a stage. But these days, because I'm not as experienced in film as I am in theater, I would rather be on a film set. And I would rather be on a film set, I think, anyway. It's just more exciting to me. What was that?
I don't
Did
know.
you hear that?
I heard it.
I don't know what it is.
It was like a trombone.
It was like a trombone.
I kind of I kind of heard it in the background. I don't know what that was.
It was a little bit like Rudy Giuliani, but anyway.
Maybe there's a Cenobite coming to get us. It's gonna happen.
So yeah, I'm definitely going to do some more theater. I love theater, and I do live in Dallas. And Dallas, Fort Worth, there are a lot of professional theaters here,
We got a lot of
which is
them.
fantastic. I would, there are other cities that I would consider moving to that do a lot of film work, but the lack of theater there makes me worry that, well, will I be able to get health insurance? I need to not worry. You know that thing I said about fear?
Have no fear.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, it's time for
stuff
an
that we all have
adventure
to
in
think about, though. We do have to think about insurance and
the
whatever.
realities. Yeah, I mean, but that's who's to say that I couldn't move to LA or Atlanta or wherever and spend some time there, get something big, and then boom, I'm suddenly earning enough money to have insurance through SAG-AFTRA. Anything can happen. But yeah, I'm never gonna stop doing theater, and unless I lose my mind, can't memorize lines, that kind of thing. That I can't imagine a worse hell than something like Parkinson's for an actor to have, or just dementia, and just
not being able to
knowing
act.
that you can't do it anymore.
Like Michael J. Fox, who's had to retire because his Parkinson's finally taken over. It's real sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
For those that are just now joining us, we're talking to Paul Taylor from Hellraiser Judgment. Can you hear us, Paul?
Yeah, I do have ears. It's just that this screen makes it look like I don't.
You were just trying to see your ears. I get it.
So, since talking about theater, what's is there any specific role that you've never played in a theatrical play that you'd love to tackle?
There's a couple I've done that I want to do again.
What's one of those?
Captain Hook.
Oh, that's a good one.
That sounds like a good.
Maybe Lloyd could be Peter Pan.
Juicy role,
and you could be.
I'll be Peter Pan.
Renfield again.
Renfield.
Officer Lockstock in Urinetown the musical. Funniest thing I've ever. Oh my god. Anyway,
what was your Renfield like, real quick? Was that did you draw from any inspiration, or was it kind of your own creation?
I sort of started out with a Terry Thomas kind of thing. I'm like, oh, well, I have these teeth, and I'm going to just, Then I realized later that Terry Thomas wasn't really like that, but in my mind, that's what Terry Thomas was. The big because I have these two teeth that stick out. So and it had to be British. So and that's always fun for me to do British accent, and sophisticated. So that's where it started. But then because he's insane, and gets sucked in, of course, by this supernatural being who he thinks is a god, his god, his master. I mean, the thing was, the history that the writer Michael Federico wrote for this Renfield was different than the history in the book. Not by a lot, but it was different. And this Renfield had actually murdered people because he'd been a writer, and he had murdered people. He had murdered critics. He was older now. He had murdered critics. He had demolished every single younger person who had come up in the world who had said, we don't respect your work. You're a hack. You suck. He had gone after him and he had vowed that he was going, and he destroyed lives so he was a maniac in London, killing people, which is not in the book. So it's a wonderful history. And then Dracula came to him, and then he had a reason to exist. And then we went into, the eating of the spiders and the mice and the flies and the bugs, because that's life. The blood is the life. It was, and I was in this fantastic costume that was it was a straitjacket, but it had pieces. And under that, it was all filthy. And under that, it was a two-piece straitjacket. So it had a tops and bottoms, and it was, it was sewn together strips, and it looked so cool. but it was raggedy and filthy and covered with vomit, and not real vomit, but it was just so pee stained, and I would always get it dirtier when I'd come back from the break and roll around in the dirt before I went on stage and smear makeup all over it. But then you could take that off, and then it was just this filthy gray onesie, what do you call them? Long underwear with buttons.
Long johns.
So anyway, and my hair was just crazy. And I was barefoot. I had so much fun. So my Renfield was a madman, and that's what I like more than anything. But a madman who still had intelligence and still had his soul. The vulnerability was my favorite part. There was a scene in Act 2 where Mina comes to see him. She's drawn to him somehow, and they have this conversation, and it was so beautiful. And it was just a moment where I'm saying, you have to leave, you have to get out of here. Blah, blah, blah. It was, oh my God, I loved it so much. So yeah, it started with Terry Thomas, and then I just took it from there, because it was the script. It was this script. I'd already read the book, so I'd read Dracula. So I'm like, well, I didn't really use much of that history because it was changed. For the script.
Yeah. I mean, I've always thought that you'd play a fantastic Dr. Frankenstein. I always thought that would be a great role for you.
Thank you. I would love to. I got offered the role of Victor when I was 30 or younger at Dallas Children's Theater. And I turned it down to do something else. I don't remember what. Something for more money, probably. I don't know what it was. But then I went back. When they did it a few years later, I called Artie, the director, who's a longtime friend of mine, and I'm like, sure would like to play Victor. He's like, well, dear, I think you're a little old now.
Oh, I don't think so. I think
he was right. I mean, in this,
I'd like to see an older Dr. Frankenstein. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'd love to play the monster. I want to play the monster. Did you guys see the PBS with Cumberbund Bandersnatch?
Oh, yeah. Benedict Cumberbatch. Yeah, the stage performance.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw a little bit of it. Like the first half I'd watched, and it's really crazy. It's really well done.
I saw it with him as the monster, and I went back to see it with
then they flip it, right?
Doctor, but I never saw that. I don't know why I didn't follow up and see that one as well, because that guy was also just an incredible actor, and I mean, they were both so amazing. God, I mean, stuff like that. That's the kind of thing I want to do on stage.
Yeah, that's crazy how they flip their roles. You know how they flip the roles and both played the character.
And technically, the lights and the sound were magical. Jeez, the way they used the turntable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Charles Anderson is one of our UK viewers, and he made a comment. He said, I wish I could have seen this. He's talking about your Renfield role. As a UK viewer, I love Terry Thomas. Great impression.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yes, darling. Poor Terry Thomas. He died a pauper. He had this character actor career that was just like, it was pretty stellar, and then he died penniless. It's really sad, but he was such a good actor. And he wasn't always goofy. He could put on the goofy, but he was really a very good actor. Very, he could be a very serious man. I wish that that theater could be now. It can be filmed and screened, but that's only because of COVID. So I mean, that's happening now. That's what Equity is doing. They're like, yeah, you can film it, and you can have people screen it, and they can pay for a ticket to do that, but still no live theater. But and there are archival, theaters will also will film shows for archival purposes, but I don't think they did that with Dracula, because they don't need to. But man, I do wish it had been filmed, and thank you. His name's Charles
Anderson. Yes.
Thank you, Charles Anderson. I appreciate that. I wish you could have seen it too.
I do want to remind everybody that Paul is taking questions today. So if you have one, and just go ahead and leave it as a comment, we'll ask Ingrid. I mean, I'm sorry. We'll try to ask Paul, but I'm looking at Ingrid Hubert's question. She says, "Does Paul have a popular role or roles among his career that he has the most impact on stage that you have played?"
On stage, um, the most impact I had on the audience, I guess, would be, or on me.
I
I'll answer
guess.
both.
Yeah, I would
Let's
say
answer
both. I
both
mean, it
because
kind of
I'm
sounds
not
like it could be
sure.
both.
First, I want to say that probably the most impact I've ever had on an audience was when I played Frankenfurter.
Oh, wow.
Because a my entrance was was amazing.
I bet.
And B, I'm just fucking awesome as Frankenfurter. Sorry, that's
Oh, it's all right.
I thought I was. Although I didn't get to have rock and roll hair, I was a little disappointed in that. It was a little cleaner look than that. But I would say that was probably. I don't know, I think people were surprised at my Frankenfurter. Um, as far as impact on me, because the other stuff, I don't know. That's kind of egotistical of me to go. Well, I know the audiences were just blown away by my performance as.
I'm so
No, I'm not
amazing.
going to go there. But I would say that the biggest impact a play has ever had on me on me was when I played Ned Weeks in The Normal Heart. Which of course is a play about the AIDS epidemic and the gay men's health crisis when that started. Larry Kramer wrote the play, and Ned Weeks is the character based on Ned. That he is. It's hello. Ned Weeks is Larry Kramer in the play, and I already went through, like we all did in the 80s. Those of us who had friends who were dying, you know, we went through that. It was like the pandemic, but worse, because it was, it was artists. It was so many artists, and it was being ignored by the government. And so I was already angry enough about that because I lost a lot of friends. Um, so I had that to draw on already. And we're doing this play, and there's a love story involved in it, but it's more about it. Well, the love story has a huge impact on it because Ned's lover dies. But my father, who had Parkinson's, took a fall one of the weekdays that we had a show. We had a show that night. I think it was a Thursday. He took a fall. He hit his head so hard because he had no control over his body. Hit his head on a brick wall, and he had bleeding on the brain. And so I find that out that day, and then I have to go play Ned Weeks in this play about death, where my loved one dies, and where I'm begging people to pay attention. I'm begging my brother to help us because he's a lawyer. Yeah, he's a big lawyer. Yeah, or something. I don't remember what my brother's position was in the play, but uh, and yeah, that was huge because you're doing a play about death. Your dad is dying, but he was in hospice, so I had to call the next day or 2 days later. I don't remember. I couldn't go home because I had to do this play. I couldn't go home to Kansas. So I was told that the doctors had said, your dad is holding on because he's waiting to hear from you and your brother. And so you need to make an appointment to call him. We will put the phone to his ear. And so I called at my appointed time. I said what I wanted to say to him. And excuse me, then I burp in the middle of this story. Then 30 minutes later, my uncle called me and said, "Paul, your dad just passed on."
Oh man!
And it was wild. It was a long time ago. It was many years ago, so I can tell it now without tears. But I remember going on stage and doing the play that night, and it was I could tell, you know, if we believe things deeply enough, then we convince ourselves that we know that this is happening. And I know that my dad was there watching me because he was so proud of my work as an actor, and he loved me. That's why, not just because he was proud, but I just felt like dad was there watching me. He was with me. He hadn't left yet. So that had a big impact on me. That was an amazing experience, and it truly, my dad's death truly enriched my dad, who did community theater and his dad was in vaudeville, so it's in my blood. um he I forgot what I was going to say because I interrupted myself. I don't know how I was going to finish
Well,
that.
Ingrid says she's sorry. She feels guilty for asking that question.
Oh, it's fine. I'm fine with it. I've never been asked that question, and it's all human. It's just us being human beings,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
things that we have to deal with, and the pain that we go through. And I'm enriched. My career, my abilities as an actor are enriched by that kind of pain. And when you're going through it, it just sucks. But later, when you can use it without it making you miserable, then you can look at it as a good thing, because death is inevitable. It's a fact of life. But when it was happening, that it was crazy, man. It
Oh
was
yeah.
I can
a wild
imagine,
time.
things like
Yeah.
this. It's a great question for me, because things like this, I'm sure, with pain and death can help. Maybe even playing like Hellraiser. It's pulling stuff in that's kind of helping your character roles, right?
Absolutely. Sorry, I was shifting because the brown thing that keeps going boom 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 on the screen is
That's your
flat.
chair.
It's part of the chair because I tilted my phone. Sorry.
Your ears are
What?
disappearing
I
too,
I
so
thought you
we
were gonna
need you to
start
push
dancing for
those
me
out
for a
again so we
second.
can see your ears.
I thought he was gonna start dancing for
Sorry.
me. I saw him move, and I'm like, he's gonna start dancing. I'm like, it's gonna be good.
Again,
Sorry,
guys,
I
if you're just
forgot
now,
what you just said.
oh, that's okay.
No, no, no. I was just saying that, I was also commenting that Igor's question's good because I'm sure experiences like this, like you're mentioning, can help your roles, especially like Hellraiser, which is all pain and distraught, so it can help bring stuff in.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what else I used for Hellraiser was my experience when I had hepatitis C. I've had quite a life. Um, but I had Hep C for many years before it was discovered, and then the cure was only at a 40% success rate, so I didn't take the cure. And then like 7 years go by, and I'm just feeling like shit all the time, and going through. I mean, it felt like I was just nauseous. It was horrible. Hepatitis C is a horrible thing. So, uh, but then I got cured of it. But thank God I got it. I got paid to take a medication that was already on its way to the FDA for approval. I was so lucky. The timing on that was incredible.
Yeah.
That I got a drug trial on a thing that worked and cured and gave me my life back. So then 7 years later, sevens, I don't know why, I got the opportunity to audition for Pinhead. And so I was able to also use that just because of the suffering, um, because, Pinhead's all about suffering. Not that we can't pretend
Yeah.
that we suffered. I mean, we can just pretend. That's why they call it acting. But
Our tears, a waste of good suffering.
Yeah.
Let's straighten that out with Pinhead right now.
they absolutely are. No tears.
So
No
we do
tears,
have a question
please.
that's kind of pertinent to what's coming up. Everybody knows. And if you don't, we're having the Frightmare Collectibles Horror Market on
Yeah.
December 19th. And Paul has been announced to appear along with Linnea Quigley and Leslie Dean.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we've got some great people coming out, but they're wanting to know, and you may not know this. This may be a question for your agent, but autograph. What is your autograph price, and can we take pictures without the mask on?
Oh, you mean a picture of me without my mask on? I won't be taking my mask off.
Yeah.
There
If
you go.
Yeah.
That's kind of what they were asking, if
Yep.
there's going to be mask or on or off.
Yeah, I won't be taking my mask off. I mean, I have one of those plastic shields, And it's possible if I change my mind that I'll just keep the plastic shield on. But as of my impulse right now is just to say I'm not taking off my mask.
Don't blame me at all on
And
that.
Yeah,
generally, an autograph photo is $30.
perfect.
There you go. That answers that. So we're very much looking forward to you coming
Definitely.
out and joining us.
Me too.
This is going to be a fun event. Since we've been shut down so much. It is an
Yeah, I'm looking
outdoor
forward to
event,
it.
so as long as we're social distancing and we're all wearing masks, it's going to be great.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking
Um,
forward to seeing your store too.
let's see. Edward Delgado had a question. That's kind of what I was wondering too. Tell us a little bit about your audition experience for Pinhead. How was that?
Okay. Well, it was funny because when I got the notice from my agent, it was to audition for a movie called Judgment, and it had a description of the movie, and it said something about spiraling into a universe where there's danger. Who knows what? There's something else going on. I don't know. The description sounded vaguely familiar to me. Like it could have been a Hellraiser, it could have been a Suspiria. No, I mean, oh, the tall man,
Oh, Phantasm.
Phantasm.
Yeah.
Phantasm. Um, so anyway, I get the script, and there's this role called the Auditor. It's the only one I'm being asked to audition for. Is this role called the Auditor? And it's just I just think I think, oh, he's this middle management weirdo. Perfect. I love it. It's a horror film, middle management, which is kind of what I do a lot, like desk clerks and stuff, but very sort of finicky and like detail oriented. So I read the first line, and it's like, we have such sights to show you. I'm like, this is a freaking Hellraiser movie. And they were keeping it a secret that it was a Hellraiser movie. So, but then, so I see, I get confused about how this actually transpired. I feel like I knew it was a Hellraiser movie, and then I got another email saying, also, we want to put Paul Taylor on on tape for the role of Pinhead. Doug Bradley's not coming back. Blah blah blah. A private email just for me because it was still a secret that it was a Hellraiser movie. But Gary tells the story differently. Gary and maybe and the casting director too are like, they say that I auditioned for the Auditor. Then after the Auditor audition, Gary liked it, so he said. So then they sent me a thing saying we'd like for Paul to audition for Pinhead. That may be how it happened. I'm not sure. I thought I auditioned for both at the same on the same day, but whatever. I knew it was a Hellraiser movie, which I thought was hilarious. And but then when I got the email saying we want to put Paul on for Pinhead, my first reaction was, oh, come on, there is no fucking way I'm gonna get this part. It's Pinhead. That lasted for about 5 minutes. And sorry that I used the word fucking a lot. I don't know if you have to
That's
bleep
fine.
or whatever, but
No, we don't
sorry.
mind it here.
It comes out of my mouth. So then that's what I said. So I didn't say effing. So that took about 5 minutes of me doing that, beating myself up, going, no, universe, I don't want this. There's no way. My fear is going to keep me away from this. I really, seriously, that's not what I was saying, but that's how it was. That's what was happening. So then I looked up at I had just started going to a therapist 3 months before that or something. I don't know. And we just scratched the surface of my crazy. And but basically it's a lot about knowing that you deserve what you want, so you manifest it for yourself. But then you have to learn how to manifest it for yourself. So that's what I was doing. And at the very top, I'm looking at my board right now. At the very top of my thing, it says, I deserve, and then there's this line. And then there's more that goes manifest. Sorry, I took my glasses off. I can't see it. But anyway, I suddenly realized, wait a minute, Paul, this is what you've been asking the universe for. This kind of opportunity. And here it is.
Yeah.
And it may have come anyway, but maybe it didn't. Maybe, I don't know. But what are you going to do with the opportunity? I'm going to give it the best film audition I've ever done in my life, which is exactly what I did. And what's really funny is I was doing a play where I was playing a minister, and my prop was a Bible because we had to sit on stage when we had to sit on pews. The director was evil. We were so uncomfortable, but we had to sit on pews facing away from the action when we weren't in the scene, and then we'd come on and do our scenes. But we were always visible. So I decided early on that I would have a Bible. I used my dad's Bible, and I would just be reading the Bible. I'd be reading the Bible, but then so I put the sides. I put the sides from the audition in the Bible. So I'm learning, I'm learning my lines for the Hell Priest while I'm holding this Bible, where I'm playing this really kind of perverted minister, and in a play that skews religion, and uh and then I got the part, and then I go out to LA, um and to get my head cast done, and I stay with my friend Jean Paul. While I'm there, I stay an extra day because I love LA and I want to be there. And he takes me to a comic book store because I want to find a Hellraiser graphic novel. I find a Hellraiser graphic novel. It's the one where I open the first page, and there's a minister giving last rites to a death row prisoner. And then da 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 da, and then I turn the page, and in pops Pinhead, and he destroys not the criminal but the priest. I'm like, it's just,
It's
I
the
don't know.
universe.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah,
That's why you have the universe behind you, because
do.
the universe
I know.
is
It was like a theme.
definitely aligned for you, Paul.
I couldn't ignore it.
Couldn't.
And when that kind of thing can happen, and you just go, "Oh, it's just a coincidence." Like, why do you want to think that way?
Don't think that way.
Nah, it's not.
I like to think there's magic, you know?
I agree
I
with
think
you.
there's magic.
And I
So
think
I'm
everything
optimistic.
definitely happens for a reason.
Yep.
You know.
I think so, and I hate pessimism. I just hate cynicism, and
Yeah.
I grew up in a cynical house full of. Well, my dad was sarcastic. My mom was a cockeyed optimist. So I had the best of both worlds just coming at me, and some of the sarcasm won a little bit. So I'm like, no, I don't want to look at the dark side. I want to play the dark side, but as far as my career, no, come on. Let's use these laws that exist.
Yeah.
Whether
Exactly.
a lot of people don't believe in that stuff,
Yeah.
but I do.
So what do you got? You got anything coming up? I know, everything's kind of been thrown, off
the
kilter
Yeah.
a little bit because of the pandemic,
Well,
but
I have a couple things I'm excited about. I did I shot an 80s style slasher film called Butcher's Bluff down
Okay.
in where was I? Have you guys heard of it?
oh
already?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had a scene with Bill Oberst Jr., which was so
Yep.
cool. And also last year I did meet Bloody Billy Pond, and so we hit it off. And at a convention, and we hit it off, and it's like now he's told me that I have a part and probably a large role in Cowboys and Demon Cowboys
Cowboys
from Hell.
from Hell.
Cowboys
yeah.
from Hell. He's
Oh
doing.
my
Yeah.
God, that's really exciting.
That's awesome.
So I was in Butcher's Bluff. I already shot that, and that was fun. I had that scene with Bill Oberst Jr. and um, played a Texas sheriff, which was against type for me, and that was really fun. So that sometime in 21, I think I'll be shooting Cowboys from Hell. Also, I can't talk about this too much yet, but there will be an announcement soon. Gary Tunnicliffe and I are going to be working together again in a horror film, and he's a co-writer and a director and doing the makeup and special effects. And I don't want to tell you what I'm playing yet, but I will be wearing lots of makeup.
Oh.
Apparently there will be a story soon, but I don't want to break that story yet.
Right.
But I'm just so excited to be working with Gary again. I
Yeah.
mean, it's so cool because we thought, I thought I was going to play Pinhead again, and maybe I will. Maybe, I don't know. But #MeToo kind of put the kibosh on Dimension Films. So when that happened, the connections I had to the Hellraiser franchise kind of went bye-bye. Same with Gary. So whatever happens, I don't know what it's going to be. I have no idea, and I have no power over it. All I know is I played Pinhead once, and a lot of people liked what I did. I hope I get to do it again. I don't know why I brought that up, but it's so exciting for me. That's why I didn't think that I'd be that what's going to be happening in 21 with me and Gary. I didn't think that was. I didn't see it happening.
Yeah.
I helped make it happen though, which feels really good.
Well,
'Cause
Gary's
I
a
feel
good
like
guy. He just showed up
Great guy.
randomly at Texas
Yeah.
Frightmare Weekend back
Did
in like 08 or 09. I think he was
It was a
filming
while
that
back,
Nick Cage
10 years ago.
movie, the 3D movie about it was like a car action flick. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, he just randomly showed up. So
yeah, and he
He's such a
walked up
character.
and he said, "Hey Lloyd, I'm Gary Tunnicliffe, and I'm just kind of here to hang out at the convention," and that's what he did.
He's
like, oh, okay.
He's very fun. He'd be a great guest. I've tried to help him get an agent or get booked on something because it's like he's really got some great stories. I mean, that dude can talk, and I thought his work as the auditor was great.
Yeah.
Many people, it's their favorite character, But yeah, I'm really excited to work with him again because this is not Pinhead. This is not me taking a well-established character and putting my spin on it, but also doing the script as written while also honoring and having to honor what came before. This is going to be a completely new thing with a new script, a new character, and I'm really excited about it. Other than that, I don't have anything in the works. I've auditioned for a couple other things. I got to shoot a scene on a big budget production of Reagan a couple months ago, based on Ronald Reagan. Not my favorite president, but anyway, I took the job.
What an interesting
and
president.
I got to do that. I won't go further.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
Remember
looking
that thing
at
I
your
said about the normal heart and AIDS and all that?
Yeah.
Ronald Reagan.
About
So
that
anyway,
time
go
period.
right. No, I'm just kind of looking at your IMDb page, and you have something called Repulse that's in pre-production.
Yeah, that's it's I think we would have already shot it by now, but for COVID. It's funny, the guy who got me involved with that, oh no, don't forget his name, Paul. He's the nicest guy. He's so cool. Oh, I feel terrible.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
Too
While
many
you're
names.
thinking, I've got in Reagan you played
Oh.
Dr. Benjamin Aaron, which
the surgeon, right?
Yeah. He was a real guy, but in the script, it's that story is mostly about the Russians. The movie of Reagan is mostly about the Russians. Very little about getting shot in the head, or not in the head, in the assassination attempt.
Oh,
And I
wow.
was the lead thoracic surgeon who saved Reagan's life. But
I'm looking at everybody that is in the
movie.
film with you in the movie. Wow, this is a cast of some
lots of
big
great
names
people.
here. Dennis Quaid,
It's a
John
huge-
Voight.
yeah, Dennis
John Voight.
Quaid plays John Voight, Kevin Dillon,
Yeah.
Penelope Ann
Penelope
Miller,
Ann Miller.
Mina Savari.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
big
great.
deal.
I'm looking
it's a
forward to
big
that.
deal.
Yeah,
It's great. Oklahoma. I shot that in Oklahoma. Oklahoma's governor wants Oklahoma to be the new Georgia.
Mhm.
It's all about tax rebates, and they have
wish Texas
really
would do that
excellent
again.
rebates. Huh?
I wish Texas would do that again. There's not enough stuff's filmed in Texas anymore.
I do too.
Yeah, we were just talking the
it's-
other day about how so much talent comes from Oklahoma, and you
Yeah.
never really realize it, but there's a lot of talent that comes out of Oklahoma. The Howard
And-
family, Ron Howard and
Yeah.
his dad, and
And people from LA are moving to Oklahoma now. They've been moving to Atlanta for a long time, because they have so much going on in Atlanta. But LA talent, they're starting to relocate to Oklahoma City, of all places.
wow.
And
Yes,
there's going to be there's this huge, I don't know what it was before. It was a stadium or just a convention center or something that two entrepreneurs are turning into sound stages.
Well, it's
So
good.
Oklahoma's serious. So in that regard, I'm so glad that I mean, that's where we shot Hellraiser Judgment, was Oklahoma City, and the same casting director, Chris Freihofer, cast me as Pinhead. I'm on his short list, fortunately. He, it's good. It's good at this point. That's one of the best things for me right now about living in Dallas.
Yeah.
Is Oklahoma.
Not too far away. Real close.
Not too far away. And I
That's
think that we're
awesome.
going to shoot the movie I can't talk about. I think we're going to do that one in Shreveport.
Oh, nice.
So if Texas would just get it together, come on. But certain sides of the fence don't want those artistic types in their state or something. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah, too much politics stuff, but
Dumbasses.
And it seems like every movie that's supposed to be based in Texas nowadays is either Arizona or Oklahoma. It's like they just avoid
and
us.
it's a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yeah.
What? Come on, don't you want to get a piece of that?
Seriously.
You would think so.
Seriously.
Well, we've had you on almost an hour.
Yeah.
I know you probably have other things to do. I don't want to, lock up your time, but
we could talk to you all day.
I appreciate it.
yeah,
I appreciate it. I have to go tape 4 auditions. I'm so happy about it.
awesome.
Nice.
Congrats, man.
4. That's
Huge
unusual
congrats.
for me, but I'm like, okay, I'm changing my tune to yes, I will work local hire in other states because I just want to work.
Yeah.
And we'll see. Anyway, so thank you. Yeah, I have to skedaddle and go and do 4. Oh, I'm grateful.
Yeah.
Well,
another
listen,
thing,
if anybody deserves it, it's you, Paul. I want to wish you
Thank you,
just the
Lord.
biggest congratulations that you
Thanks.
that I can, because we're very, very proud of you.
Yeah.
We're proud to have Pinhead be a local Texas boy.
Yep.
And
That one of the things that Chris said. Thank you. One of the things that Chris, the casting director, said when I got this, he was like, "This is a great victory for the flyover states." Which
Yep.
I mean, I thought that was. I mean, it sort of applies to what you're saying. It's wonderful that there is so much local talent in this part of the country.
There really
because we
is.
choose to be here.
Yep.
It's
a great area too.
It really is. It really is. It's
Before I let you go, TwitchNate81 says, "Do you like shooting in the OKC area?" And then we'll say goodbye.
Oh yeah. Oh please, yes. I do. Oh, they're probably not asking so that they can offer me a job. That's what my response was. Yes, absolutely. Call me. But yeah, I do. I've shot so many things in Guthrie, and in more in Guthrie than Oklahoma City. But they're basically the same place. Yeah, I like it a lot. I'd
Awesome.
rather not be local hire, but I can be local hire.
Well, we look forward to seeing you in a few weeks, here at the horror market at Frightmare Collectibles. But anything else comes up? Anything else comes up after that or before that we can help you promote? Just let us know. We'd love to have you back on in the future to talk about some of these roles that are coming up. So it'd be great to
thank you
to see you.
I'd love to. When Gary finally makes the announcement, I'll let you guys know because I think it's going to be soon. And then when that develops a little further, then I'll want to talk about that definitely, and Cowboys from Hell, of course.
That's so awesome.
But yeah, if people want to follow me on Instagram, I hate social media, but I'm the real Paul T. Taylor because so many people are trying to be me. But the other ones, I mean, the real Paul T. Taylor is my Instagram, and then I have a fan page on Facebook, Paul T. Taylor. Not that you asked, but I'm like, yeah.
Well, I was about to ask you just that.
Yeah, we were going to ask you that. So
yeah, we always like to ask that, but thank you for telling us. Okay, go ahead. It's all Paul T. Taylor.
PaulTTaylor.com.
.com.
All right. So everybody go visit Paul online, virtually. Tell him how great he is as Pinhead.
Yep.
And all of his other roles. And keep your eyes out because Paul Taylor, apparently you're going to be everywhere soon.
It's going to be everywhere. More Paul Taylor to go around. We're excited.
Thank you. I needed this today, believe me. Thank you.
Perfect. Well, we're so glad you joined us. It was great talking to you.
Yes,
Thanks.
and
Great
go
talking
break
to
a
you.
leg on your 2 tryouts.
Your 4 interview
Four
tapes.
interviews.
Go do
Thank
them.
you.
All right.
Talk to you later,
Yeah,
Paul. Thank you
appreciate
so much.
Guys. Okay. All right.
Have a good
Peace.
one. All right. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye. Thank you.
All right, guys.
Move this baby down.
That
right,
was
here we are.
Paul
Woo!
Taylor. Yeah, here we are. We're back. Thank y'all for joining us.
Oh,
what a great
Lord.
interview. Paul Taylor's a cool dude.
Let me see those titties.
Hey, watch out.
Ooh, they're hard. No. Yeah, real great getting to talk to him. You know, he really took on that Hellraiser role, and it's not an easy role to take on because there are a lot of crazy Doug Bradley fans out there. We all love Doug Bradley, but I think he did a great job in that role.
It must have been torturous. You asked him about that. What was it like?
Well, because I saw it online before it came out. People were just giving him so much shit. I'm like, you guys haven't seen it yet. Like, always give people a chance before you start going crazy on stuff.
Right.
So,
well, that was.
It was
wanted to
Lloyd.
bring
Lloyd
this-
actually was the one who did it. So I was like, Lloyd, stop.
I wanted to bring that up the last Pinhead, but it's not fair to the Pinhead number 2. But those memes about the great value Pinhead, they would have Doug Bradley and then
Pinhead number 2.
great value Pinhead next to each other, and I always felt so bad for that guy because they just drug him through the mud. But
Well,
Paul came through unscathed. He was kind of victorious at the end, where when everybody saw it, they went, "Wow."
Well, he was because they gave him so much shit. Then when they actually watched it, they were like, "Oh, I like him." I'm like, "You're the same guy who was giving him all the shit." You're like, "Oh, I like it."
Exactly. So,
Congrats.
congrats to Paul.
Yeah.
Everybody remember, come on out to the Frightmare Collectibles Market, Christmas Market on December 19th and meet Paul. Get an autograph, get a picture with him, even if he has his shield or his mask on. Let's make sure we respect people's, right to wear their mask and not be given shit over it.
We got to give people respects for that right now, especially in the time of COVID. You know, if you don't like that people take photos of masks on, just kind of respect it. You don't have to get a photo with them. Go ahead and get an autograph though. It's cool to have.
It's great to have, and some people, I understand that, like Amelia came last time and she wasn't really a masker, so
that's all up to the guests though. That's not. We got to respect what they want to do.
Absolutely. So come on out. Let's meet everybody. Linnea, Paul, and Leslie Dean.
Let's remind them what day that is.
That's December 19th.
Yeah.
And if you go to Frightmare Collectibles, our Facebook page, it's Frightmare Collectibles.
Frightmare Collectibles,
Yeah.
and it's going to be a great horror market. We've got 3 guests and vendors. It is going to be $5 to enter, and that's just kind of to cover all the stuff to get everything set up and get everything done for you guys. But once you're in, guests are, their autograph prices are what they are. You heard Paul say he charges $30. I'm not sure about everybody else right now, but
I'm not either.
yeah, if we do get that info beforehand, they allow us to post it. We'll do that, but
We will.
it'll be
And
great.
Todd, that wasn't directed, the masking thing. I know you asked the question. That wasn't directed
No.
at you at all. It's just kind of a general blanket statement for everybody. And I think everybody's really cool. in our
Everybody's
group,
cool.
so-
We just got to remind people, we want everybody to be respectful to the guests because we have seen people at some other pop-up markets who've thrown fits when people have had masks on. And it's like, well, it's the guests, it's their choice. So
It is their choice, and right now people should be wearing masks. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's just a general blanket statement. I'm not directing that to anybody because at the last event we had here, it was amazing. We had no problems. Everybody wore masks.
everybody was real great.
Everybody was social distancing. We had outdoor and indoor activities going on, so you could kind of chill out and either where you like, wherever you're comfortable. So that's it. I'm not going to keep going on about that. Y'all know about the market coming up. So bam, what's
Boom.
next? Anything else,
It'll
Charles?
be here. Well, we'll be back. I think we're doing a watch party tonight. So we'll be back on tonight at 7 for that Twitch Prime watch party. We're finally starting those back up. I think we're watching Waxworks tonight, so that'll be a lot of fun. Then we're back Wednesday for Year in Horror 1996.
Yes.
Ooh.
Tonight, though, we're watching what again?
Waxworks.
Waxworks and Mission Dan.
Mitch and Dan are going to be hosting with us. They're a couple of our viewers.
That is going to be awesome. We're looking forward to that tonight, Charles.
Yep, that's going to be great. Year in Horror 96 is Wednesday, 7 Central Time. And that's, I don't know, that's kind of what we got going on with the horror market coming up. I did a video this week on the Tourist Trap release. So if you haven't seen that or you have, feel free to give it a watch and like it. Don't join us on YouTube. Feel free to follow us on YouTube if you don't already do it. I'm trying to bring out a lot more of these unboxing videos for a lot of this stuff that's coming out because I like to talk about movies. So I like to hear myself talk. So anytime I can talk about movies, I do that.
Well, you do a great job at it, Charles. I love your videos. So.
I love these. I love talking about these movie releases. That's one of my favorite things is these Blu-ray releases. Other than that, yeah, I mean, give us a like and a subscribe. And if you're on the hunt for any fun Christmas stuff, Frightmare Collectibles, frightmarecollectibles.com or come down to the store. That's where we are right now.
My wife hung up the National Lampoon Christmas Vacation
blanket,
beach/bath towel.
Oh, the bath towel
available.
It's cutting my head off.
It says, "Bend over and I'll show you." And it's Clark Griswold in his hockey mask and his.
That's what I do with
chainsaw.
Lloyd.
Hey Griswold, where do you think you're gonna put a tree that big? Bend over and I'll show you.
Me and Lloyd react that scene a lot.
That's funny.
Now, these are actually really cool, and the hoodies are cool too, though.
Yeah, we got the hoodies, we got the Leatherface shirt. This is a cool one. Look at that. I love Texas with Leatherface. Can y'all see that? That's a cool T-shirt.
It's above my head. I heart Texas.
So anyway, we got a lot of cool stuff. We're open today until 10 p.m. Tomorrow, 12 to 10. No, 12 to 6. Sorry. That's Sunday, 12 to 6. Today we're open till 10. So come out and see us. I'll be here. Charles will be maybe not here. Maybe
I don't know.
here.
I'll be here for a little bit.
Yeah.
I live like an hour from here, but I come here on the weekends and bother Lloyd. So
That's right, and we love you to come bother us. So
hey, we're watching beta tapes today. We got it going.
We do. We have the Omen playing.
We have the
beta,
Omen
right?
playing.
Omen 2
on
with
beta.
Lance Henriksen.
Which I somehow found in a VHS slot. It was like hiding there. I told Lloyd, I said, I don't got no damn beta player here.
Yeah.
Take this. I only do VHS.
Yeah, and then he brought over some other cool betas.
Oh yeah.
That we're gonna put in the store.
I said, take these betas, Lloyd. They're just sitting at my desk at the house, and I keep picking them up, going, well, I got these betas, Lloyd.
I may have to keep this one for myself because I love me some Friday the 13th Part 4.
You can have it, Lloyd.
Beta is cool.
They just sit around in my house.
I'll probably sell it. Well, anyway,
that's,
what else we got, guys?
That's all we got for, I think, today. Well,
Well,
unless you guys got anything else from us, but I did trim my beard, Todd. Yes. Look, it was getting too long. I looked like a homeless wizard. I couldn't go anywhere because they always thought I was trying to steal things. So
But you got that Irish beard.
I do. It's kind of funny. My beard's super red until it grows out. Then it's all freaking white. And it's like, well, this dude's old. So
Well, look at mine. Look, it's all white.
I still have copies of Battlefield Earth, Todd. If you want a Battlefield Earth, I've got so many copies on VHS that it makes my head hurt. I see them all the time.
Ship it to him.
I'll send them to you. Careful.
Yeah. I think that's about it, though. Come out and see us. Otherwise, we'll see you guys tonight at 7 p.m. for Waxwork, co-hosted by
7 o'clock.
Mission Dan.
Mission Dan.
So join us on that. We're going to have a lot of fun.
Yep.
And I think that's it, Charles. What else you want to talk about? Anything?
That's it. That's all I got for right now.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us today for Frightmare HQ.
Ooh.
You've been watching an interview with Paul Taylor, hosted by Lloyd Cryer and Charles Doze.
Let me
the
turn these
titty
corn
twister
nibblers
over
here. Big old corn nibblers. Are these peanut butter cups all natural, Lloyd? Ooh.
All
Oh.
right, guys.
Ooh-wee.
Peace out. Y'all have a good one.
I'm leaving.
Doesn't show up over here.
I'm going out of here.
I will talk to you guys soon. We'll see you tonight. Bye-bye.